Race day at the Nurburgring. We had the qualifying session, and now here comes the obligatory race. I just mentioned last season we had Lewis Hamilton winning from pole position in the shake and bake. Looking to do the same, he does start from pole position. Raikkonen, who finished second in the last season race, he starts on third on the grid, and he's looking to claw back some of the points that Alonso has taken over the last couple of races, by which I mean 2 wins in a row. Jenson Button, who finished third, and he's not had in the last race, and he's not had the best of qualifyings, only 13th. That's not a good omen for FJR. Significantly out-qualified by Romain Grosjean, who starts 6th. As mentioned before, it's Hamilton on pole position from Sébastien Buemi, who did hold on for most of that session. All Tornado row 2, followed by Adrian Sutil and Grosjean, so that was a good effort from Sutil, but he'll be hoping not to repeat his sheepish shenanigans at the last race in Dijon, where he caused a pile-up by hitting Vettel and causing the retirement of Lewis Hamilton. And Sergio Perez last has been given a stern talking to by his team boss Andy Quinn. So the 5 lights are on and the 5 lights are out, and it's Hamilton who gets away quite well. Buemi has got a good start as well. That was a poor start from Raikkonen. He's already lost third position to Fernando Alonso. A lot of jockeying for position at the back as they go into the first corner, and some brakes lockups. And there's a spinner at the back. Somebody's blocking the track, and there's blocking the track. There's Barrichello involved. Perez has got through, and it's the 2 GRMs. I saw Paffett and Barrichello getting involved in a bit of altercation. But poor start from Raikkonen has dropped him back behind Alonso and Grosjean, and Vettel has been passed by Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, who was passed by Vettel at the start, has now regained that position. And it was a good start from Romain Grosjean. He's got Sutil and Raikkonen, so he's up 2 positions. Vettel retaking Hulkenberg. These two are having a massive scrap at the first lap. But now, and they're going to continue it. He won't get through at the kink there. Neither will he do it into the chicane. And look at this, we've got Sutil and Raikkonen. Adrian Sutil making a position on Raikkonen, so the Finns start going from bad to worse. And Buemi 1.5 seconds at the end of the first lap. And Grosjean challenging Fernando Alonso for 3rd place. And he'll be looking to have improved reliability after both FJRs retired with mechanical problems at the last race at Dijon. They were looking quite strong there as well. Not qualifying, but certainly in the race, as typically from FJR. Glock up to 10th place at the moment, and he qualified 14th, so that's a good start from the German in front of, well, one of the many Germans in front of his home crowd. Surrounding the hairpin, Vettel looks as if he's got the initiative on Nico Hulkenberg in 8th place. Kubica up to 7th, and that's in fact where he started. So this 71 lap race, and it depends on what strategy each of these guys are on. Alonso is definitely under pressure from Grosjean, and the Frenchman, or the Franco-Swiss I should say, but he's taken the French nationality. Hamilton, the fastest man on the track, pulled out 7/10 on Buemi, and we'll see Alonso trying to defend. No, he's not defending, and Grosjean up the inside into turn 1, and he's got him. Roman up to 3rd place for the FJR. Now, can he hold on to that? We know how dodgy the FJR reliability has been. Vettel has got past Kubica for 7th place, so he's on the move as well. And now Hulkenberg looking to take the Guy Racing driver. And he's going to have a think about it, and he's up the inside there. Kubica trying to hold on, but Hulkenberg has the position gained. Now, can he recatch Vettel? Because Hulkenberg wasn't too far behind when that lap actually started, but Vettel was the one that made the move. No, no doubt they'll catch up to him. The Mitchells do look quicker than the Shannons. As Hamilton is about to start another lap. Grosjean is pulling away from Fernando Alonso, so maybe fuel could be involved in that. Maybe Alonso's on a heavier fuel load. Hamilton the fastest man on the track. Half a second he pulled out on Buemi then, and Grosjean 6.7, but this is his first lap in clear air. As we look at Timo Glock looking at challenging Kubica for 9th place, and that's not quite got him. Robert holding on round the outside. That was a good defence, and now Glock's on the back foot from Kovalainen. Definitely Kubica holding up the field at the moment. Maybe he's on the heavy fuel load as well. Could be back between 2 and 3 stops, I'd expect. You can see Kovalainen looking to make a move, and looking to make a move on Vettel is Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg is fast at this moment, and he's gone through on the inside into the bit curve. As for turn numbers, that is turn 8. 13 turn racetrack, and they're approaching the 11th. So it was 2.7, and it's still 2.7. Buemi is now matching Hamilton, and Grosjean, well, he's 8 tenths behind, but pulling away from Alonso. Well, 8 tenths slower than Hamilton, I should say, but he's pulling away from Fernando Alonso. So the field's spreading out a bit there, as we look at Bruno Senna, who's looking to make a move on Jarno Trulli. The braking distance is quite short into turn 1, so may have to think of something else. And Trulli moving over quite aggressively there. And this will be Bruno's next chance into the Dunlop Care. And on the inside he goes, so that's side by side, and I believe they're still side by side, but Bruno should hang on. He's got the high ground I should say, and he's got him. So that's a position gain from Senna. It's up to 16th. Now his next target is Nico Rosberg, who had a poor start I should say, down 4 positions from 11th on the grid. Hulkenberg versus Raikkonen now. Hulkenberg has got this car dialed in, and in fact Buemi's just lost another 7 tenths to Hamilton, and Grosjean even slower than that, and the rest of the field even slower than Grosjean, it seems. So Hamilton has got this race under control at the moment, needs a good result. He has had 2 retirements in the past couple of races, and that's not the best way to have your first race, FF1M race, go. Electrical problems for the new boy, Karun Chandok. That's a Mitchell on fire. Is that Hulkenberg? It is. So his engine has given up the ghost. I'm using cliched phrases, but yeah, that's an engine failure for Hulkenberg, and he is out of the race. Now that's disappointing, because he's proved to be very quick at this race so far, and he'd be pulling off now. Well, he's keeping off the racing line. Yeah, he's slowed. He's out. And now he's pulling off. So that's a shame for Hulkenberg. We're going to see a great fighting drive from himself. Bruno Senna's on the move at the moment. He's now challenging Rosberg for that 14th place, and just ahead of him is Jenson Button, who is where he started now. And no, he's not. He's just pulled off there. That was very, very slow there from Jenson. Bruno did very well to see that in time. So that's yet another reliability problem for FJR. 13th position proved to be extremely unlucky. And I believe they have yet to have to. In fact, they have had 2 cars finish a race, but Jenson was out of the points in Spain. Grosjean was in 5th position. So that's been FJR's only double race finish at this season, so it's cost them quite dearly. But their car has proved to be quite quick. Just look at Grosjean in third at the moment. He's keeping the gap to Alonso, just under 2 seconds. Senna challenging Rosberg. Rosberg chooses to defend just a little bit, but it's too late. Senna is up to that unenviable 13th position. So lap 15, it's Hamilton 7.3 seconds ahead of Buemi now. Grosjean third from Alonso. He's only 1.8 seconds ahead, but that's been the gap since Grosjean made his move. This, I believe, is Lewis Hamilton coming round the Dunlop Care. Coming up to lap of Shannon, it's Perez. So into the bit curve they come, and he's not making life easy for Hamilton. But surely Lewis will get him into this right-hand kink. Maybe a bit dangerous, but he's got him. So that's relatively decent awareness for Perez there. And Hamilton, he's coming into the pits, so his fuel load is actually very light. Surely he'll be 3-stopping. And Gary Paffett in the pits as well. Being the Constructors' Champions, you do have the advantage of being the first box, so you won't have to manoeuvre around many mechanics. And it's a 10.2 second stop, so it does indicate that he is going for the 3 stops. Now, where can he rejoin? Lose a lot of time. Grosjean in the pits as well, so he's using the same strategy as Hamilton, and so is Adrian Sutil at the first corner, and that is Raikkonen. So he's rejoined it just ahead of the Finnish driver. Can the Finnish driver take advantage of Hamilton's cold tyres and slightly fatter fuel load? Well, looking like he is doing at the moment. No doubt Hamilton will get up to speed. Bruno Senna pit, so he was on a light fuel load as well. So it moves Buemi into the lead from Fernando Alonso. Alonso may do something about Romain Grosjean when Alonso makes his pit stop. You can see the fans distorting in the background, so a couple of laps later Buemi's making his pit stop. More guesswork to find the speed limiter. Near the air guns go off, placing the tyres. And that's a longer stop. Alonso does pit. It's 12.5 seconds for Buemi, so he's going for the longer middle stint. And is that Hamilton going down? I'd be surprised if it is. No, it's not. It's Timo Glock. So, I was going to say, that must have been a tremendous job for Buemi to do the laps to get past Hamilton. But, no, that's not the case. Grosjean is flying on his new tyres. He's taken Piquet for 7th place. And Alonso did not get ahead of him. So, that is Alonso just there. So that was a good set of outlaps from Grosjean. And meanwhile, Hamilton retakes the lead. Vettel pits. So he's pitted from 4th, where he's handed that position to Buemi, and, well, I think his position was 3 or 4. Certainly Glock takes that position, so he was on the heavier load, so he'll be 2-stopping in this race. Here's Alonso looking to do the same on Piquet. He needs to do it now, and he's doing so if he's to stand any chance of remaining ahead of Grosjean. But Piquet fighting back here, but Alonso does have the initiative. I say that, Piquet's now in his slipstream. Is he going to make a move into this chicane? He's looking to do so, he's fighting back, and Alonso Ooh, just about made that corner, but now Alonso will hang on, surely. He's got better traction out of that corner. Yes, I think he'll hold on now. Alonso feeling a need to defend there, so he doesn't feel absolutely secure in 4th place. I suspect he will do now. And Sutil rejoined behind Alonso. Not far, though, behind him. But he needs to clear his own teammate, and that's not going to be easy. We know Piquet is not an easy man to pass. And out of the race is Mark Webber. His engine is absolutely barbecued. So once again, LeBlanc, their reliability has proven to be a little bit difficult. Quite clearly, engine failure. And we got Hamilton in for his second stop. 9.8 seconds, so 4/10 quicker than his first one. That's just before half distance as well, so expect him in about 20 laps or so. And rejoining the track behind Buemi, who may be 2-stopping, we don't know. His first stop was around 2 seconds longer than Hamilton's. In fact, is this Hamilton on Buemi now? It is. So that 2-stop might not be working out. And Grosjean has dropped behind Alonso, Raikkonen and Vettel. No doubt Grosjean in his 3-stop strategy. He'll be quick in the later part of the race, and Hamilton has gone through. He's retaken the lead on his better tyres. And there's the gear racing. Is he trying to get out of the way there? And whoa, my word! That's not the best of driving there from Rosberg. Nearly took the race leader out. Rosberg, it has to be said, is having a difficult race. He's way down the order and his teammate's up in 7th. So it's not a total disaster for gear racing, but it has been a disaster for Rosberg. Former world champion, of course. So here goes Hamilton. Buemi will be doing all that he can to stay as close as possible before he makes his second stop. There's an engine on fire that looks like a dark wolf. No, it's not, it's Piquet. Nelson Piquet has blown his engine. So that's the 3rd one we've seen at the moment. Hulkenberg, Webber and Piquet. Jenson Button had a completely different problem. Still a reliability problem. And so Buemi, he's now 2.8 seconds behind Hamilton. In fact, they're in amongst the engine blow-up. There's Buemi getting past Pedersen. And Piquet doing all that he can to try and carry on. And he's making it extremely awkward for Buemi. Extremely, extremely awkward. So this is costing Buemi a lot of time. Piquet's convinced that he can still keep going. He must be absolutely insane. And his engine's been smoking for an entire lap. He clearly thinks this race is not over. We saw Sutil, his teammate, doing the same thing in Brazil. His engine blew up, but he just did not want to stop. And now we go. He's pulling off now. So that was an entire lap with an engine on fire. That deserves a medal, does that? And Buemi in the pits for his second and last pit stop. That's 11.5. So what he needs to do now is push as hard as he can so that when Hamilton comes in, well, I suspect he'll be too far back, but you never know. Hamilton could have a slow pit stop, but you can see that is often unlikely in the world of FF1M. Alonso's making his pit stop. Grosjean takes 5th and he's catching Vettel. He's only 1.3 behind. And here's Hamilton in for his last stop. At 9.6 seconds, so 2/10 quicker than his second stop. clockwork from the shake and bake pits. So out of the pit lane he comes. And that's his race win surely in the bag. Buemi's not even out of the final corner yet. And there he goes, and that's a shake and bake, but it's Timo Glock. So right in front of Hamilton as well. So Glock was about to go a lap down. And there was a Pedersen that's just come out of the pits as well, right in between these. So it's a shake and bake sandwich, but not for very long, as Hamilton storms past both of them. I think that's Kobayashi, so he'll probably take the 9th position. Just when Glock actually does retire. There we go. So Suttil in 7th, chasing Kubica for 6th. And Kubica defending, but Suttil has got the inside, and he's up to 6th position, so he's having a good weekend for Andy Racing. And this is Hamilton, who's now on his last lap. And he's going to lap Suttil now. No, that's a GRM, my bad. Into the Dunlop they go. So he's won Australia earlier this season. And he retired from Brazil with gearbox problems, and he had the same problem in Spain as well. Finished on the podium in Malaysia, then took the win at Imola. Then he had his first lap incident with Vettel and Suttil. Not Hamilton's fault at all. But now he's bounced back in the strongest way possible. So that's pole position, rounding the final corner. No problems there, so Hamilton will take the 3rd win of the season. And he does so. And Buemi will come home in 2nd position. And it's very lonely at the end. So Tornado's 3 and 4 where they started, but Alonso ahead of Raikkonen this time. Strong race from Romain Grosjean, finishing in 5th position, ahead of Adrian Suttil. So the top 6 finishing in the top 6. Kubica 7th, having started 7th. And completing the points is Sebastian Vettel there. So we shall see for the next race soon, but I'll just confirm the championship standings. Hamilton closes to 2 points behind Alonso. So it looks like Hamilton versus Alonso. And then Hulkenberg in 4th, behind his teammate Buemi, who is a race winner, having won that Chaos in Brazil. So Raikkonen in 5th place, ahead of Kubica in 6th. So that 7th place actually helped Kubica get ahead of Bruno Senna. Constructors, it's Tornado from Shake and Bake. 8 points is the gap there. Mitchell quite secure in 3rd. Guy Racing 4th, and FJR in 5th position, but closing up on the Brazilian team. All the teams have scored points this season. GRM 7 points, but down in last position. That's quite surprising. So next race, Montreal in Canada. Looking forward to that one. We shall see you then.